Well, hello everyone. This is Farai Mwakutuya from Expertly Speaking. We have a quick update this week, and that is to talk about SI 108 of 2025 that was gazetted recently, and that extends the deadline for re-registration of companies and private business enterprises. It extends that deadline to April 20th, 2026. That is roughly about 6 months from now. To give you a bit of background as to what this is all about, back in February 2020, that is the 13th of February, a new law came into being. That was the Company and Other Business Entities Act. And one of the requirements of that act was for companies that were registered before February 13, 2020 to re-register. Why, you may ask? Well, it's because an electronic company registry was set up and established, and one of the requirements for re-registration was to allow companies that were registered before the registry was, that electronic registry was set up, to migrate onto the electronic registry. So companies registered before February 13, 2020 were required to re-register, or are required to re-register with the Registrar of Companies. How can you check if you fall into this category? Well, if you look at your certificate of incorporation, there is a date there that indicates when your company was registered. If it falls before 13 February 2020, then you are required to re-register. Another reason why the re-registration is necessary is to clean up the company register. There are companies that are dormant and inactive, and this process of re-registration will allow that register to be cleaned up and for those companies to be removed from the registry. It will also allow for the updating of information on board members, shareholders, and directors. As you can imagine, company information may have changed from the time that a company was registered. For instance, some shareholders and directors may have passed away, some may have moved on, left the country, address details may have changed, the company's domicilium, or where it is based, may also have changed, and all of that information is required to be updated, and that is one of the reasons why the re-registration process is underway. And lastly, this is also meant to bring Zimbabwe to par with international standards. Electronic registries moving with the times, so this will allow for a very transparent register. It will improve the business climate and doing business environment in Zimbabwe, and hopefully also make it conducive for investors to come here and do business, and for local investors also to see that the environment is indeed transparent and conducive for business. Well, how do you go about this? These are the requirements for re-registration. The key steps that you must take now: pass a shareholder or board resolution authorizing the re-registration. Then you need to file the required re-registration forms and pay the statutory fees. You need to submit updated information on directors, shareholders, and the company's registered office to ensure that all your annual returns and filings are up to date. Upload all these documents with the registrar's electronic filing system, and then after that you can obtain a new certificate of incorporation under the 2020 Act. So what are the consequences of not re-registering? Well, effectively you may lose the company, lose control of that company and that legal personality. You also be unable to trade, hold property, or sue in that company's name. There's potential loss of that company to third parties, and the disruption of contracts and financing and other business operations. You can imagine that if you fail to comply and your company is then deregistered, you may have ongoing contracts and business arrangements with clients, customers, and suppliers, and all those could be in jeopardy if you fail to comply. So once again, the deadline for re-registration has been extended. It has been moved to 20th of April 2026. It may seem like it's a long way away, but as we know, time flies and you can quickly run out of time. So we do encourage that if you haven't complied yet, please start the process, get this going as quickly as possible so you don't fall foul of the law and you don't end up running out of time. If you want to get more information or advice on this, you can contact any legal expert or lawyer, and they can obviously give you that information to be able to assist you with this process of re-registering your business. Time is money. We know that we set up these businesses to make money, so please make sure you utilize the time time that is available before the registration deadline to make sure that you stay in business and continue to make money. Expertly Speaking, I'm Farai Mwakutuya. Engage with us on our social media platforms. Subscribe and follow us. Would love to keep hearing from you and speaking to you. Join us again next time.